Hey guys, it's John on the JRB Tree Climbing Channel. This is as real as it gets. I'm going to apologize in advance for the lighting, for the production quality. I am deep in the woods. I am by myself. I'm taking the day off from hunting to show you something about my hunt from yesterday. Actually, there's two videos. I just filmed the first one where the blood trail leads to a future tree. But I also, as I was in this tree, discovered a lesson, and I decided I was going to come back tonight and basically reenact my climb. It has to do with throwing over a tree, which is a great tree to hunt out of, but we can't get in the position we want for DSRT, the first climb. And so we take advantage of our ability to basal anchor in SRT, and then with a creative rigging strategy, we can rig our paracord preset to return to this tree in the future and use DSRT. It's just so much easier to climb DSRT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you up in the tree with my cell phone to show you the details. But we're on a pretty good slope here. And over here is the tree. All right, this is the tree. I went over there and executed my throw ball right over the center of the tree in a perfectly strong crotch. These are my two ropes. I want to be climbing on this side of the tree over here. But I've got several large branches and I can't climb DSRT. So I want to be here. What I'm going to do is set a basal anchor. So I'm going to ban this friction hitch. I'm not going to use it at all. It has no meaning for me. I'm going to set a basal anchor. My preferred basal anchor is the JRB hitch. I'm using a universal system today, but that's kind of irrelevant in the sense that I'll only be using the DSRT components. This is my one friction hitch going towards the center on that side. This is my other DSRT hitch, which is in the right place, going the other direction. So I'm gonna cut. You guys have seen me climb, and I'm going to get on this and show you the tree once I'm up in it. The climb itself is not a big deal. The point here is the rigging. That, my friends, is my camera sitting on a dead tree stump. So you can see I'm basically facing the same direction as we were at the ground. It's just that I'm up here in the tree. I'm on the other side of the tree. It leans a little bit. And here's my rope. This is the strand I climbed on the left. This is the side with the basal anchor here on the right. Let's look down the tree. So the first thing I really want you to understand is there's a lot of branches here, right? There's a branch on the other side. I've got this branch here. I've got this branch here. And I've got this massive branch, which is very flat and great for use as a platform. That's why I want to be on this side of the tree. All right, so here's the plan. I'm going to rappel down the same line that I climbed on. I'm going to rappel on this. But what I've done is I always carry a piece of paracord with me. I've taken a piece of paracord and I've tied a 6'2" Blake's hitch onto my climbing rope on this side. So here's the plan. I'll get down to the ground with the other rope. When I get to the ground, I'll release the JRB hitch on this side. And then to retrieve the system, I won't pull on this rope. I'll pull on the paracord. As I do so, it'll bring this side up, and attached to it will be my paracord preset. So I'm going to pull the system down here, and so I'll be abandoning this part of the line. The new path will follow the paracord, and I'm going to wind up with two strands of rope, with both sides of the rope on this side of the tree. One more time. That's the crotch. This is my intended side to climb. This one's jammed up. Doesn't matter from 1 or 100 branches. And I want it to go down a different path. I simply put on a piece of paracord and have that follow me down. And I use this to retrieve it. All right, let me get on down. Okay, so let's see if you can follow this. I realize the lighting's not ideal, and you're gonna have to scratch your head about this a little bit, but here's my basal anchor, right? Here's the line I just rappelled on. Of course, you know, the tree is leaning this way, and so that's why it brought me over here, but this is where I wanna climb. This is the side that's the basal anchored. I'm gonna remove my basal anchor, okay? I've already attached my paracord spool. I've already attached my paracord spool to this line, the one I rappelled on. I've already attached it. And this, I'm going to just let it fall. Don't want to lose that friction hitch, so I'll shove it up the line a little bit. Now, here is the paracord that I dropped. And that's where I'm going to start to pull from. And both lines are going to move. That's okay. And look, I've done it. I've got both sides of my paracord preset with line of sight. I'm going to rig my rope and do a little climb. Okay, I'm going to get back up there, and this, again, it's going to be a little hard to follow, but because we've got a lot going on here. We got a leaning tree, and we re-rigged, but I've got my DSRT lines now. This is another reason why I like a swivel on my carabiner, and I don't have one today. Trying out a new saddle, and I don't have a swivel because I'm going to be facing this direction up there, and so I've rigged in that way. Okay, I've arrived in position, and you can see I've got it rigged, and I'm DSRT. Let's get back on down. So you might be thinking, well, that's an awful lot of work, John, and it's kind of confusing. Okay, right on all counts. But I'm looking at this tree as an investment in my future. I've got permission, which is rare in a great property. And I tagged a deer my very first trip in here last night, or my first trip into this tree. I look at this as a tree stand that's going to last the rest of my life, and I want it rigged the way I want it rigged. There's no advantage to tying a basal anchor. There's only risk in tying a basal anchor. We want to avoid tying any life-sustaining knots at the climb site if we can. And don't forget, deer notice everything. I mean, you might think a deer wouldn't notice a piece of rope on a tree. They notice. They'll notice a climbing stick on a tree. I'm not saying every deer in every situation, but how many videos do you watch of somebody hunting and, you know, just some clip or some short, and the deer's coming in and it's not looking at the hunter, it notices something and gets alert. Well, it's noticing the tree stand, or it's noticing the steps, or it's noticing something. We want nothing at the ground, nothing suspicious, nothing that would alert them, nothing that has scent. And of course, DSRT is so easy to climb and easy on my hitches. I've got half of my weight on each hitch instead of my full weight. Okay, that's as real as it gets. I hope this gives you a little bit of an insight into some of the more advanced rigging scenarios. Thank you.